Should you exercise if you have a physical job? Anyway, in your work you get a lot of physical activity, a lot more than what the recommendations say. So should you actually exercise in addition to that, or just use the time for recovery? I think it's a really tough question. I have a PhD in sport coaching and fitness testing, but still I'm not sure how it is, because you need also recovery, and if you having physical activity, for example 8 hours per day 5 times a week, it's 40 hours of physical activity. That should you still load your body with exercise? So this is a really interesting question and I don't have the answer, so let's find a person who has done research to this, and let's call Professor Andreas Holtermann. And how I came up with this question, I'm now in north of Finland and we started building a cottage, and it is hard work. We have been cutting the wood with the chainsaw and lifting them and carrying them, and I'm wondering, should I still be training in the evening even when I'm pretty tired? So it's a really interesting question, and let's see what Andreas will say about this. So let's call Andreas Holtermann. He is a professor at National Research Center for the Working Environment in Copenhagen, Denmark, and he has done 352 publications. So I think he might have an answer for this, because he has been doing research with blue-collar workers. How much activity do they actually do during their work? What is the intensity? He has done this with different professions which have physical work, and he has also done training studies with them. So let's have a call with him. Hi Andreas, I'm making a YouTube video here and I would need your help. So the question is that if you have a physical job, should you still do exercise? Is it beneficial for your health?
Yeah. So if we just go on with the cleaners, right? So what we did after we did these measurements with the cleaners, we set up a randomized control trial, and we tested exactly, can we then make a work site 1 hour per week aerobic exercise. It was doing aerobics, brisk walking, running, these type of activities for the cleaners. So they did it during their working hours. And then we found incredible increases in fitness levels, in inflammation levels, in pain levels, you name it. We found so many beneficial effects. And this was, just imagine, so this was a group of people who are having 7 to 8 hours manual work every day. Of course, they're very sedentary during leisure, but at least they're doing 7 to 8 hours every day. Then we put 1 hour of physical activity, which is exercise in principle, right? Leisure time physical activity characteristics, high intensity, right? And they get massive improvements. So I think this just tells that for several of these groups, it can be really beneficial to have some health promoting physical activity. And what we also found for these cleaners, and I think that's one of the only studies in the world which actually shown it, is that because they've increased their fitness levels, their heart rate levels, we measured 24-hour heart rates before and after intervention, was lower. They were doing the same work tasks with a lower heart rate. So the loading on their body was lower, which then, put less demand on the recovery and so on. So we found so many beneficial effects. And this we have done for a lot of different manual occupation groups. For instance, some of my colleagues, we've done it in construction workers, we found positive effects. We have done it in elder care. We have done it in, some of my colleagues actually did it in slaughterhouse workers. Having some of the most demanding work tasks, I would say, particularly for the upper body, right? And my colleagues then made exercises with elastic bands and found really good effects on reducing self-reported pain levels and improved function.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for your help. So that was surprising, wasn't it? So you can have actually 15 to 20,000 steps per day, every weekday for years, and you can have a bad fitness. And still, when you add to that some aerobic training, you can improve fitness and then be able to do that work better. So really interesting findings with the cleaners, and also with the slaughterhouse workers. They are doing really physical work with their arms, and still for them it was beneficial to do some strength training. You wouldn't think that you still want to overload the muscles, and you would think that they just need recovery, but actually when they are working they are overloading some muscles and not the others. So it's actually just creating imbalance, and that's not good for you. So with the balanced planned training, it is beneficial still to train even if you are doing really physical work. So what are the take-home messages from this? Physical activity at work is not kind of training. It's many times too monotonous. It's repeating the same thing. So maybe some of your muscles get overloaded, but others don't get enough activity. It might be static positions which are not good for you. It might be that your intensity stays low. You just take, for example, steps throughout the day, but not burst where the heart rate would go up. Because for training improvements, you need a stimuli to improve. It's not just that you get any physical activity. Even though if you are sedentary, basically any physical activity improves, but it's not like that it will improve your fitness. You need some thinking behind it. There is some formula that you should follow. It's not just that you do something and you just keep improving. So training should have a purpose, and the purpose is that you create a stimuli for the body to improve. So for example, if you want to improve your cardiorespiratory fitness, you need a stimuli that will guide the body to improve those functions in your body. So you need that your heart rate goes up for a certain period of time. If you want to improve muscle strength, you really need to load those muscles enough that they will grow or have a stimuli for increased strength. So there needs to be a purpose in training. It's just not that you do something and it will improve your fitness. And that's why something like a plank challenge that you do every day, just plank, it's not really clever. If you have a freedom to train smarter, use it. This is like doing the physical activity at work, that you just repeat something which probably overloads some parts of your body and doesn't offer a good stimuli for training improvements. So you should be training many different things. And I will add here a playlist, or was it in this corner, in which I have videos, for example, about Vilpa, which is a new method from researchers where you kind of integrate high intensity interval training into your daily routines. For example, like just walking with maximum speed 100 meters, or carrying something, for example your groceries, with a little bit more intensity, or going up the stairs. So you try to accumulate 10 minutes of activity throughout the day without really going for exercise. So check out the playlist. There's also a video about 10,000 steps, how the number of steps is not important, but it's more about intensity and timing. So if you found value in this video, maybe click the thumbs up and subscribe. It would help me a great deal. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.